Hi, Cyndee Haydon, Charles Rutenberg Realty here. Talking today and answering some questions I get about, we help a lot of clients with finding great beach short sales and bank-owned properties. And one of the things people ask me is, how will a short sale or bank-owned deal where we actually bought a condo, townhome, or house for under market value, how does that affect property taxes? How does that translate? I want to show you an example today. Hopefully understand that while you may get a great deal on the purchase price, your property taxes should be balanced with every other kind of comparable property. The property assessor is funding our schools, our county, our work, and is looking to determine their sales comp and just market value to assess a property. So let's take a look at this property. This is a 3,000 square foot townhome on the water in St. Pete Beach. It was bank owned and it sold for $522,000 in May of this year. Okay, so May of this year, they paid $522,000. Now, the property tax bills come out, and you look here in the property appraiser site, and it talks about sales comps or comparisons. And there they look at other properties to determine what they think or what they're going to base that value on. Now, I wanted to give you a look at what those numbers look like, because when you look here, there's all kinds of homes, townhomes, condos on the water in St. Pete Beach. But you can see they range everywhere from 950 square feet, 920 square feet, all the way up to, 2,800. And here's one 3,070. So even though this one was another bank owned that sold for 534, again, when they aggregate all that, their just market value and the way they come across is $708,523 for this property, which is a difference of over $180,000. Now, once they have that number, they typically take 85% of that to come up with the just market value. And that's the number that your tax, the millage gets against and comes up with your tax number. Now, one other variable that can come into play is if it is your primary residence and you're homesteaded, you actually get about $50,000 off this just market value. So instead of being the 602, it would be closer to 552, $100,000. Now, one of the things here is, because it was bank owned, it was not a homestead in this year. So for this person, this year, it only qualifies for the state of Florida 10% non-homesteaded cap. We're hoping if the election in November that we'll see that drop to 5%, but that's what it is right now. So again, the millage, here's the number you take, the 18.2940, which if you want to think about it, that's about 1.82 1.83% interest, percent of the 602,245. So the taxes again for this year paid in arrears are 11,017.40 and then 47 cents. One of the things that is good news to see is, again, this was new construction, so you can see how up until 2009, the taxes were just based on the land when the developer had stuff under project until it was titled and stuff and completed. It didn't change. Again, in 2010, they were assessed just market at 520, and that was, again, before some things had sold, and the market was worse in 2010. 2011, again, looking at the year in review, they assessed it at 602. So the good news is that he paid $522,000 for the property, and again, it was a bank owned, and it appears to be a good deal based on what we're seeing here. So that's a little bit about how the property taxes work. If you have questions, feel free to give me a call. Cyndee Haydon, Charles Rutenberg Realty. My phone number is 727-710-8035. Be happy to help you. Again, we specialize in both helping buyers and sellers of short sale, of all properties, but obviously in this market there's still a lot of short sales, bank owns, and other distressed properties. And again, you may have questions and we're happy to help. So I hope you found that helpful. And again, that's a little bit about no understanding when you have your property taxes, whether you get a good deal or not, the property taxes are going to go off the value. So again, important for people to understand. And one of the reasons we often tell people, if they gave you a property, sometimes you couldn't afford to maintain the cost and upkeep. So hopefully you found that helpful. And again, feel free to visit our website, www.sandbarstosunsets.com, serving all of our 26 miles of beautiful beaches here on the Gulf Coast from Clearwater to St. Pete Beach.